Hello, welcome to Extraordinary Women TV with Shannon Skinner. My next guest is Patricia Muir, who is the founder of Maestro Quality. She's also an executive leadership coach, all about making the workplace a better place for everyone. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Later in the segment, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top success tip. You're going to hear Patricia's. Patricia Muir, I'm so glad to have you here today.
Very nice to be here, Shannon.
Now, your company, Maestro Quality, is a professional consulting and coaching firm that assists organizational leaders transform their business and the quality of their life with a focus on both personal and professional quality.
Yes, that's very important, the personal and professional.
So why the importance of having a quality personal life, and what does that have to do with business?
Well, that gives you a foundation for making decisions based on what your values are. And as long as you're working for a company or you have a company that is based on values and standards and a vision, then you are much better able to attract people who will align with your business as well. It makes your life a lot better in business. So it leans over to the personal side and the professional side.
Now, you've had a path of a very sort of non-traditional career. I have to ask this question. I mean, what got you on a path of a non-traditional career?
Oh, I've got a great story there. When all my friends when we were 16 and we were out getting our first part-time jobs, all my friends were getting waitressing jobs, and I was just not able to land a job as a waitress. My dad would joke with me, he says, "You'd never make a good waitress anyway because you will make a lousy cup of tea." So then when I graduated from high school, the next step for me obviously was to go and try to be a secretary. I couldn't land a secretarial job either. But what always happened was there was always another position offered to me that was more suitable to me and which allowed me to grow my skills in a different path from the traditional path that my friends were taking.
Right. Now, of course, you're a coach. What got you interested in coaching?
Well, being in a non-traditional business, I was a consultant for over 10 years and implementing quality systems in businesses, and I had a specialty in working in the service industry. I was hired by a company, an IT company, to help them implement quality standards in their business. I was in a boardroom full of men, and one of the IT managers leaned towards me and said, "I don't have to do anything you tell me to do."
Wow. So what did you say?
Well, I stayed composed, but I had to question myself about how I was delivering my service. Was I coming across as someone who was telling? And in consulting, that's what we do. We tell them what we know so that they can take it and do it themselves.
Advise what's best.
Advise what's best. So I thought there had to be a better way of delivering my message and my service. I started to explore coaching. I had heard about it. And the difference between consulting and coaching is consulting model is very much about telling someone what to do, whereas coaching is very much about helping them to decide what they want to do and how they want to do it.
So then give me an example of the kind of clients that you work with now.
Okay, at the moment, a very male-dominated industry. I work with car dealerships. I also work with other service industry companies such as real estate, and I love working with women's businesses. I do some assessments for women-owned businesses. But getting back to the dealerships, when I work with them, it's quite challenging because it's very male-dominated.
Now, what is, you are passionate about women leaders. Why is it important to empower women to become leaders, and especially when they're girls?
When they're girls. I had a great experience in the Girl Guide movement, and I actually achieved the highest award in Canada at the time when I was 14.
So this is when you were a Girl Guide?
When I was a Girl Guide.
Right. Okay.
So I got to experience how other women mentoring and coaching, it wasn't exactly coaching then, but showing us that we could be leaders and that we could make a big impact on the world. It inspired me to do the same for young women and to be more, have my voice heard in leadership for supporting women's issues. And when I was a Girl Guide, I had someone say to me, "You would make a great leader." And I can't tell you how important that is for a girl to hear that, because then she knows there's possibilities for her to lead.
Now, you know, in terms of you have been working in male-dominated, areas for most of your career, a lot of your career. But how do you, as a woman coach, I mean, how do you do it?
Okay, it's with grace and composure. I'm known for going into boardrooms. I don't compete with the male energy in the boardroom. Actually, I'm known for being very composed and making it very relaxed in the boardroom so that we can get on with work.
As women, do we need to be operating with a lot of male energy in a very male way in business, or can we maybe relax and be women and still be successful in business, especially when you are working in male-dominated industries?
My belief is that use our own energy. We've got amazing energy, and we have amazing energy to get things done. We have amazing energy to actually work with other people, to not to compromise, but to collaborate. And so I think we should use that energy, and that married with the gentleman's energy, we can do a lot more rather than trying to compete with one another.
Now, Patricia, we're going to take a quick break, and this means it's time for my Good to Know Minute, and I know you've got a great success tip.
Okay. It's a quote from my dad, and it is, take care of yourself, do what's best for you, and don't jeopardize what you've built for yourself. And this is because doing what's best for you will allow you to build a reputation, maintain your reputation, something that's very important, your word, and also what you can do for other people. So take care of yourself, do what's best for you, and don't jeopardize what you've built for yourself.
That's good to know. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more with Patricia Muir, and we'll be talking about how you can create a workplace that is good for everyone. So stay right there. Hello, welcome back to the show. I'm Shannon Skinner. And before I return to speaking with my guest, Patricia Muir, I have an event announcement. Okay, so what are you doing for International Women's Day, March 2012, which is just around the corner? Well, you might want to think about this event. We Move Forward 2012 is taking place on the island of women in Mexico. That is Isla Mujeres. What a great place to celebrate International Women's Day. The Island of Women. All right, so it's taking place March 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2012. You can find out more information about the event at my website at ExtraordinaryWomenTV.com, and feel free to drop me an email if you have any questions. Would love to see you there. I'll be there. What a great way to celebrate International Women's Day, don't you think?
Yes, yes.
Well, I'm speaking with Patricia Muir, who is the founder of Maestro Quality. She's an executive leadership coach. And we're going to talk about how organizations can make a better place for everyone. And I know you've got some 3 or 4 tips on how they can do that. So let it roll.
Okay. So one of those tips I alluded to earlier, and that is the leaders to have a strong vision and also to have strong values and to hire people that are aligned with those the vision and those strong values.
Right.
Without those, you have people moving in all different directions, and you have a lot of turnover because people just do not fit in the organization. And also the other people that benefit from that is whoever the corporation or the organization serves. So if it's a customer, then the customers are more likely to be loyal if everyone is in sync with the same values and with the same vision.
So give me an example when that doesn't work.
Well, when that doesn't work, there's a lot of turnover. So you, as a customer, you don't see the same person.
Right.
You're not able to build a relationship. And even within the organization, the relationships aren't able to build to a point where employees are bonding with one another for there to be good continuity in the organization. And I think that's why we see so many organizations struggle, is because they're always addressing new shiny things coming into the organization, new employees taking a lot of time to retrain and to pass on the message of those who are the visionaries. And I think that's why a lot of corporations are struggling, and even small and medium-sized businesses struggle that way too.
And I know that you've got, so have a strong vision and align your values with your employees. And obviously that would connect with your clients. What else?
Well, the other thing is to treat everyone as an individual. I work with some organizations that they feel that treating everyone the same is the right thing to do. And I speak to them about that. We're all individuals, and especially now with our diversity, there's so many different needs, special needs or individual needs that people need to value in other people, to be able to communicate. Nowadays, you have to have a very different way of communicating with people and actually valuing those differences in people rather than seeing everyone as being the same and we serve them all the same.
Right. And I know that you've got one more.
Okay. The other one is, I would say, look at emotional intelligence, empathy in your organization. The empathy and self-control, which is self-responsibility. And if you can bring those into your organization and everyone appreciates the value of that, then the self-control, people become self-responsible. They don't need to be motivated by a leader. Actually, the leader leads them because they have the same standards, the same values, they have the same view of how important it is to be self-responsible. And therefore, there's not a lot of energy spent on trying to motivate somebody because they're self-motivated.
Yeah, and you know, emotional intelligence is sort of a buzz term now, isn't it? You know, I mean, what happens when you have someone who maybe doesn't have isn't, you know, quite as emotionally intelligent or savvy as someone else? Maybe they actually lack empathy in their own life. How does that impact then an organization?
If they lack empathy, especially if it's a leader that lacks empathy, then they're not able to be in the employee's shoes to see what it's like for them personally or professionally, to be able to grow that person in the organization and for that to contribute to their organization.
Now you help organizations or individuals working for companies through different transitional phases through their work. Let's talk about that.
Okay. Two areas in particular, and it goes back to the empathy, and that is when there is loss, personal loss or even professional loss. I see in organizations where employees have a personal loss, such as a death in the family, and I can speak from experience how that affects a person's performance. And unfortunately, we have what we think is a law where people are provided 3 days to sort of look after the bereavement part, whereas the grieving goes on for a long time. No one goes through it the same way. No one goes through it in the same...
Could be years.
Could be years.
Right, yeah.
And it affects how the person is working, and actually the person becomes very self-conscious about their performance. And we need leaders to help their employees get through these transitions. The other transition that I help is with those people who have climbed the corporate ladder or have quite a status in the professional life, and now they're in the years where everyone is saying you should be looking at retirement.
Ah, retirement.
Yes.
Now, is retirement a thing of the past?
I
or
think
at least the terminology?
The terminology, yes. We're looking for a better word.
Yeah.
The mindset is changing. About 10 years ago, you would find most baby boomers looking forward to an early retirement. Now, and it's not just because of the economical conditions right now, most baby boomers, it's come on quite fast for them. They never knew that 10 years would go by so fast. Now they're looking at extending their time in the workplace or extending their time by giving. It could either be giving to the community or it could be giving by actually contributing to another business, starting up their own business. Because it's very important for them that they still have purpose, a reason for getting up in the morning, rather than going to their local coffee shop, reading the paper, going home and saying, now what?
Because maybe they're not feeling productive? Is that what happens if they're not engaged in work in some way?
Being productive is one thing, but the other thing is having a purpose.
Right.
And a lot of them are going back on what I call the back burner and finding things that they loved to do when they were young, their passions. There's quite a lot of budding artists out there that have been in the corporate world. When they bring that back into their life, then they really enjoy. It's like liberation. Retirement is like liberation for them. And many of my clients, after I coach with them around their plans, their lifestyle plans for retirement, they realize it's not all about the money.
Well, you know, a number of business leaders that I know, after they retire from their work, and as some of them put it, I've retired from making money. Often they turn to volunteering on boards,
Yes.
doing more not-for-profit work. There seems to be a trend. What's been your experience?
Well, my experience with those type of people that have had status in their professional lives, they've worked so hard on their professional lives that they haven't done the groundwork with their volunteer work. They haven't done a lot of volunteer work. So when they leave the workplace, they do have high expectations of being able to get onto a board right away and volunteer. But what they have to understand is you have to build your reputation with these organizations. They don't just take someone that they don't know and put them on a board. You have to do the groundwork.
Now, you know, I've got one question that I want to ask you that seems to be, you know, niggling at me. How does one have a quality life? What does it take to have a quality life? And how and why is that really important then for everyone else?
For everyone else? Okay, I'll go to the why it's important to have a quality life.
Yeah, why is it important?
It sets the way you behave, automatic behaviors, automatic responses to things that come up in your life. So you're consistent throughout how you behave. And that is how you are projecting yourself to the public, to your friends, to the outside world. It's very important for us to have a consistent message, and quality is so important because the things that will bring us from being a quality person with a good, strong personal foundation, it will bring other things in the way of business rewards because of how you're interacting with people, how you're contributing to their life, and how you're being a model for other people to lead their life in the best way.
Patricia, I've really enjoyed this time with you, so thank you so much. It's been a very enlightening conversation. For anyone who wants to get in touch with you or find out more about you, where could they go on the internet?
Yes, okay. URL is maestroquality.com, and I have a big year coming up. Next year I achieve the next level of my coaching accreditation with ICF, and I'm also celebrating 20 years in business with Maestro Quality.
20 years. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. So again, more at maestroquality.com. And also, before we go, I know that you also penned a chapter in a book called Awakening the Workplace. So
yes.
Where can people get a copy of your book?
Okay, they can go online, or they can give me contact information is online, and they can purchase the book online or through me personally. I'll send it to them. And my chapter is Create Your Own Quality System.
Well, thanks for this, Patricia. I've really appreciated your time.
Thank you, Shannon. My pleasure.
Well, for more information about upcoming shows or to contact me, you can visit the website at ExtraordinaryWomenTV.com. I'm on Twitter too. You can follow me at Shannon_Skinner and find me on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page, Extraordinary Women TV. So a couple of places where that you can follow me and connect with me. Special thanks to my friends and family for your ongoing support. And if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women TV with Shannon Skinner. See you soon.